Yeah, continue on. So what I did was I need to replace this arm, and it was broken off of this. I lost it in the crash. So I basically, in order to center this, that's probably another video you may need to watch. That's from other YouTube video on how to center the arms of this servos. It's actually fairly easy. You press that in there. Basically, you activate using the remote. You turn on the Master CP's controller. You turn these on and put the batteries in. But right now, you're not gonna worry about that. Let's just put this thing together, and then I will start worrying about where what goes. Now you gotta remember the elevator servo. All the servos are facing the same direction. In other words, they're facing the front of the helicopter. So the servo sits here, and in here there's a little pocket where the cable from the other two servos kind of sit, and you have to make sure they sit nice and flat so that they don't get crimped by this elevator servo. And you cannot let them sit there that way flat, and then this guy sits right there. So you're gonna make sure that you see the cable are kind of sitting nice and flat against that little pocket that Walkera created. It's a little notch carved in for the cable to kind of sit flat. I don't know if you can see that. So, and this servo kind of sit flush. Actually, this cable also needs to go back there. The cable from that servo also needs to go back there. So you cannot fold this cable also, making sure it sits flat against the servo. All three cables kind of sit back there nice and flat. You can kind of see that the cables are kind of sitting flat in that little pocket, all three of them. So I'm gonna clean up this wiring later. For now, we just want to mount all the servos, and there are two screws that mounts this servo. This goes down here. So they go right here and right here. So those screws, these are all tiny little screws here. It's kind of like a tight fit. I'll not be able to see this too well, but you got the idea. I'm just screwing in. I screw better with my right hand. And then the other one goes in the bottom. Right there. Kind of like have to let the hole line up for the screws. As you can see, I'm having a little trouble centering that right there. that's not going in. I can't really see the hole too much. There we go. So tighten that other screw in, secure that servo. So the helicopter is coming together slowly but surely. So all the 3 servos are mounted with all the control arms. There's a little washer here that has to go in. So before I do anything else, I'm going to mount the main gear. This is the main gear, and basically, in order to mount it, I'll have to slide in this guy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off these blades just to make it easy. The blade has a little crack in it. I don't know if you can see this. It has a little crack in it right here from the crash. This is a very tough blade. This is the original blade from the beginning, and as you can see, it's beat up from my 5 crashes. So I'm gonna replace it finally. Just because, you know, if you see, it's not that straight anymore. I can't say too much about that. Again, it's a very tough blade. My 450 blade would have been broken. I mean, I replaced those things like that. Even though they're supposed to be carbon fiber, they still break easily. Now, I know that I should check to see. You don't have to worry about taking the blade off and wondering which one goes where, because the rule of thumb for this LE that I've noticed is that the leading edge, which is the thicker edge of the blade, always facing your left side when you install the blade. The thinner edge of the blade is always on your right side. So whether you put it on the left or this one, in either side, just make sure that the thicker edge, which is called the leading edge of the blade, is facing your left side, and the thinner edge is on your right side. So I don't worry about that. I noticed that that you can't go wrong when you do that.